Minecraft villagers are about to be changed massively in the next update, and they're going to be a lot less powerful. So in today's video, I'm going to show you every single secret feature, tip, trick, and hack that you can know about villagers. This is probably the last time villagers are going to be this powerful in Minecraft, so everything I'll show you in today's video is going to help you take advantage of that while you can. I'll also be showing you a little known trick that allows you to completely break villagers in a way that we've never had access to before. Let's start off with some of the lesser known facts, and then I'll get into some more of the broader tips and tricks that you should use when villager trading a little bit later in the video. Did you know that nitwits can be converted into regular villagers? So this is a nitwit villager that you can't trade with. If we turn this guy into a zombie villager just by letting that guy attack him, he's gonna turn into a zombie villager, and then we can splash him with some weakness and use a golden apple on him. And now if we wait a couple minutes, that's gonna turn into a regular villager that can get a profession and a job and be traded with. There's actually another trick with zombie curing as well. If you simply log out of the game while they're curing and then log back in, they're going to instantly turn into a regular villager. Instead of waiting 3 to 5 minutes, bam, you get yourself a villager basically instantly. And as you can see, this villager that used to be a nitwit has transformed. He's been given new life, and he has some lovely bookshelf trades. If you really want to get an item from a villager, but you just don't have the money to afford it, then you can actually kill them and they'll drop whatever item they're holding. This guy is holding a multi-shot book because that is going to be his trade, and if we just smack him to death while he's holding that, as you can see, he actually drops a multi-shot book. This works with literally any item that a villager can hold, so try it out. Of course, it's kind of a permanent solution, so maybe don't do this with your good villagers. There's a little known trick with zombie spawners that they can actually be used for your villager trading hall. Whenever they summon a zombie villager, that's actually going to apply the curing discount to every villager in the area. It gives the curing discount to all villagers within a 32 by 32 by 32 area, just an absolutely massive cube around the villager that was cured, or in this case, a zombie villager. So because this zombie spawner in the middle of our trading hall spawned in that zombie villager, these brand new villagers over here got a little bit of a discount. Now, it doesn't appear to be that much, but because that spawner is always on while we're in the area, that's going to stack up over time and give you a significant amount of discounts. Of course, you can also use the spawner for an XP farm. It just needs to spawn in the zombie villager to apply that little discount to everyone in the area. You can kill them automatically or manually or do whatever you want. It's a really powerful mechanic that helps you get much better trades. By the way, this area of effect curing applies to any zombie villager that you cure, so we can use this to our advantage. Instead of manually curing every villager in your trading hall to get discounts on all of them, you just need to cure one zombie in the area, and that'll give every villager in your trading hall a bit of a discount. So if we cure all 4 of these guys at one time, that is going to give us significant discounts. Keep in mind, your villager needs to be within 16 blocks of the person being cured, so this guy right here has some pretty horrible prices, but if we go ahead and relog to let all these guys insta-cure, then we're gonna get much better prices. As you can see, these guys insta-cured, and now this guy over here has a significant discount. Of course, if you do this multiple times, that's gonna get you basically 1 emerald trades on literally everybody in your trading hall, which could be, you know, 30, 40, 100 villagers at a time. This is definitely the easiest way to get a bunch of curing discounts. I have a really useful texture pack to show you, and I also have an absolutely game-breaking texture pack to show you in just a minute. The first one is just a trading helper. This reveals all the trades at the later tiers of the villager. That way you know exactly what your villager is going to trade before you get into it. So this guy we know is going to have Unbreaking 3 and multi-shot, and then if we simply re-roll him, we'll see what all of his other trades are. Now, this is pretty benign, and honestly, it just helps you get better villagers, especially with the re-rolling mechanics, but there is another version of this texture pack that is way more broken. So this texture pack is called Trade Unlocker, and it allows you to trade any tier of a villager without ever unlocking that tier. As you can see, this is a librarian novice. It has never been traded with before, and now we can buy the name tags, and it is just insane. And you can see on the right side here, it tells you what the villager actually has, so you can like quick trade for mending, even though we've never unlocked that tier of villager. Let's summon in a new villager real quick just to show you how insane this is. So brand new villager just spawned, and now we can buy name tags from it. The final tier thing We know that it has Luck of the Sea over here, and this is absolutely absurd. So if you want to absolutely break villagers, you can just use this one simple texture pack, and then from any villager that you have, you'll know all the trades that they have, and you'll be able to buy their final tier items without even needing to level them up. This is not an add-on or anything, it's literally just a texture pack, and from what I've heard, it's not going to be an easy thing to remove from the game. Download links for the Trader Helper and the Trader Unlocker can be found in the description of the video. Check them out, they're pretty insane. A quick tip for villager rerolling, you can put the workstation on a sticky piston, and then when you move that, the villagers will unlink and relink, giving them new trades, making it really quick and easy to re-roll them. No longer will you have to break and place the workstation manually. This works for every workstation except for the grindstone, which for some reason is immovable. This could seriously save you a lot of time if you're trying to build up yourself a new villager trading hall. Another trick for villager curing, the Fletcher villager actually sells weakness arrows at its master tier sometimes, and while I'm here, there's an illegal trade from the Fletcher as well. These guys can actually sell you arrows of decay, which is the wither effect, and you're not supposed to be able to get this in survival mode, but it's here, so maybe stock up on these while you can. Now, of course, you don't want to just like shoot these guys with a weakness arrow, because that does quite a bit of damage to them. Instead, what you want to do is use a dispenser with a weakness arrow. That does a very small amount of damage to them, so if we just flick this lever, that's going to shoot a weakness arrow at all of them, and then that allows you to cure them. If you don't want to get weakness arrows from villagers, use a cauldron instead. Just make yourself 3 1-minute weakness potions, and then put all 3 of those into a cauldron. Click on the cauldron with a stack of arrows, and bam, you'll suddenly have a full stack of these weakness arrows. This is the best way in the game to make tipped arrows. Now let's talk trading loops. There are several trading loops in the game that allow you to buy something for a low price and sell it for more, and bookshelves is a good example of this. If you can get them down to 1 emeralds or even 2 emeralds, you can buy a bunch of bookshelves and then break each one of these down into 3 different books. Now these books can all be sold back for 1 emerald a piece. So there we go. We just made 3 emeralds off that transaction, and we still have a bunch more books that we can sell later on as well. There's another trading loop with the librarians. So these guys sell 4 glass for 1 emerald, so we can buy a bunch of that at one time. You can buy 48 glass at a time from librarians and turn that into 2 stacks of panes, and then the cartographer villagers will actually buy panes, and you can get that down to 1 pane per emerald with some zombie villager curing. So that is of course a huge increase in the amount of emeralds that you get from these guys. The cleric villagers also buy glass bottles as well, so you can turn that glass into glass bottles, and then it's just 1 bottle per emerald. And of course there's always the Fletchers, which buy a bunch of sticks for emeralds. You can get this down to 1 emerald trades if you do quite a bit of villager curing. This is probably the best way to get emeralds in the early game. And a couple of last minute tips for you. The hero of the village effect actually does work across multiple villages now. For the longest time it only worked at the village that you started the raid in, so now if you have a raid farm, you can take this hero of the village effect, go to your trading hall or even multiple trading halls, and get a significant discount at all of your villagers. By the way, it is possible to have an iron farm, a villager trading hall, a curing station, a villager breeder, and villager crop farms all in the same area within the same build. A lot of people think that you have to space these things out or that they can't be next to each other, but if you do it right, you can have them all in one area. I got a full tutorial for this. Links are down in the description. If you're looking for something else to watch, I have a deep dive tutorial on villager trading and how to get the best trades from each individual villager. You can check that out. Links are everywhere. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then drop a like, share it around, and subscribe if you're new here to help us reach 600,000